Let's review the 21.82 trillion naira 2023 budget that has now been passed by both the Senate and House of Representatives. Economist Chukwu Okenwa joins me live from Enugu. Not quite a change here, Mr. Chukwu. The recurrent expenditure is still significantly higher than the capital expenditure at 8.3 trillion to 5.9 trillion. And we are to spend some 6.5 trillion on debt service. What have you identified here to be uniquely different from previous spending plans that probably will promise a better economic experience for Nigerians in the new year?
Well, at the moment, I think it's still a great concern, considering the fact that after review and subsequently the passage as we see today, we noticed an increase by over 1.3 trillion, which is of great concern because I think in the planning of this budget and approval, there is something we fail to consider, and that is our ability to be able to match records with realities. Some of this does not reflect the realities that we have on ground. And then as a developing economy, one of the things that should have been of great priority to us, of course, would be like investing into critical infrastructure, but we've not done much of that. We have sometimes you have issues where debt, it's trying to eat up the nation. And one of the things also that is very of great concern, spending much on overheads, recurrent expenditures. You can imagine how humongous it is to notice that up to 30 billion is earmarked alone for severance, settlements, allowances, for past legislators, and of course for the inauguration of the 10th Assembly. So I think there will be a need to actually prioritize the issues of nationhood, of actually developing the economy, because sometimes the common Nigeria cannot understand when our leaders tell us things are tight, there's need to apply belt tightening measures, and on all their part, it's not reflecting at all. Rather than probably maybe reviewing after the outcry of Nigerians, the last time that the bill was was brought to fore when it was just about slightly over 20 billion. Only to come out just after some months, and it's now reviewed upwards. So the question is, are things really hard? Does they really reflect our realities, or are we just, just trying to maintain the comfort of the leaders, who very soon, of course, will be done with either their section or that of the President Muhammadu Buhari? His administration will soon be ended.
Quickly, Mr. Okenwa, let's talk about the implementation of the budget. This is the fourth and final budget to be passed by the 9th Assembly, and this House prides itself for restoring Nigeria to the January-December budget cycle. How much significant impact has that had on budget implementation in the past years?
Probably expected before now. Would be it's not just enough to pass the budget. You talk about tracking it, playing oversight functions, ensuring that the various ministries, departments, and agencies, that the taxpayers' funds that are made available to them is judiciously used. But sometimes when you look at the amount of money that is earmarked for some of these agencies, and interventions, you begin to wonder whether the common man actually feels the impact of some of these humongous amounts of money. So I really think that the 9th Assembly have not done so well in tracking, playing oversight function, and ensuring that these things are actually helping our economy to move from a developing economy to a developed one. And of course, when we talk about the developed economy, it should reflect in infrastructure. It should reflect in the take-home package that civil service people have. I mean, it becomes a high-paying economy because at the moment, where you have largely across the state, where the salary, the minimum wage of a staff cannot even buy a bag of rice. I mean, what sort of economy can we actually say we have in a place? So I think a whole lot needs to be done. It shouldn't just be okay, let's just keep managing the austerity as it were at the moment, but it should actually be, how can we move from where we are, where as a nation, we at the moment have the highest number of people living in abject poverty. How can we actually reduce the numbers? And how can we begin to create wealth, shared prosperity for every Nigerian, the Nigerian that is on the street? Not just a situation that has been the norm, where our leaders, whether executives or those of them, the legislators, they actually take what we call the hardship allowances But the hardship actually is actually borne by the common citizen that is on the street. I think it's an anomaly. We do the suffering and they take the allowances, the hardship allowances. Such things should actually be reviewed. If they are the representative of the people, then the people actually should be, the priority.
That's our
of the
time, Mr.
legislators
Okenwa.
and not themselves.
And it's the same analysis we have on a yearly basis. Chukwu Okenwa, Economist, joined us live from Enugu. Thank you so much for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you.